The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Are the Jets better off just losing all their remaining games? We'll talk about that and much more as the Jets will play the Ravens on Sunday. Dylan Tereman will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We look forward to getting ready to compete against the Ravens and go try to win us a game. So any questions? Why are you laughing?
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you being tuned in to our show. Apologies for having to end the first show because I was getting hacked. My X account is still locked out. I was hacked, but I want to thank one of our great listeners who does cybersecurity for a living, Purple Belt Mike, for helping me out. I had to change my passwords to everything. It was a mess, but hopefully I get my Twitter account back within a couple of days. But the show must go on. And we are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. We say hello right now to our guy, the host of the DT Experience, Dylan Tereman, joins us now in his weekly spot. Hello, Dylan.
Dude, we were talking about it earlier today, man. Six Rings is pulling the ultimate job on you. I know you've had your hands full with this whole Twitter thing, and yesterday the entire internet crashed. So it's been a week for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, the shows have been affected by the internet outage, Twitter today, just brutal. The craziest thing is I don't know how I got hacked. It's not like I clicked like one of those like mysterious links that like are obvious scams. So I don't know. Apparently this is like a phenomenon, especially of late. So I'm hoping that I get my account back, but check at Jake Asman Show if you want any of my thoughts. I'll tweet from that until I get my actual account back. So we shall see. With that said, Dylan, a lot to talk about. First time I've had you on the show this week since the Jets made it official with the quarterback change. Give us your quick take on the change on Sunday. It will be Tyrod, not Fields, as a starter.
Yeah, well, to quote a lot of people's least favorite Canadian, better late than never. Never late is better, right? That's the Drake line. So in one hand, yes, Aaron Glenn made the right decision of going to Tyrod Taylor, and you would have to assume that going into that Cincinnati Bengals game, if he was healthy, that would have been the case too. So maybe we shouldn't, be so critical of not making the change earlier. But on the other hand, there were other times like in London against the Broncos. And obviously he made the change against the Panthers when they came and played us at home. But I don't know, man, it might've cost us a win or two in the process of being so slow to make this decision. So on one hand, I am very happy that he made the decision. We get to evaluate our offense. But on the other hand, it's like, damn, the what if of Tyrod Taylor coming in earlier in some of those games. Maybe you pull out a win or two and we're sitting there with 3 wins or maybe even 4 wins for all we know. So it's a tough, spot to be in if you're AG. You don't want to give up on your guy who you paid, $40 million over 2 years to, but it's where we're at. And I think Tyrod Taylor gives us the best chance moving forward.
I don't disagree with any of that. And I think ultimately we're in evaluation mode, right? So let's see some of these skill players potentially get more opportunities. I just think you had to do something to kind of spark the offense here. I mean, Justin Fields has had 5 games with 100 passing yards or less. It's not how you can win in today's NFL. And look, he hasn't spoken to the media now for 2 straight days. I'm sure he's not happy with the decision. But ultimately, I don't really care about Justin Fields' feelings. Like, he was not drafted by this organization. They paid him $30 million, all guaranteed. So he could be upset. He could pout. Glenn said that he's still the number 2 QB. Okay, fine. But ultimately, this was a move that I think you had to make.
Yeah, and I think the structure of the Fields contract, I know I said $40 million. It's like the structure of Fields. You could have front loaded the contract so that in case this year happens the way it did, you can get out of it. But being on the hook for $23 million in dead cap next year, it really hurts the situation. So that's more of the holdup with the Fields thing, is the structure of the contract, but also at the same time, he's only quarterback 2. They didn't put him all the way down to emergency quarterback 3. So my hope, and, again, we haven't seen this a lot with the offense, is do they have a package of plays for like 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 7 even, where they can bring in Justin Fields to just give you the threat of that east-west quarterback run game? Because I do feel like the mesh point between Tyrod Taylor and Breece Hall is everybody's going to sell out on Breece, right? We're not expecting Tyrod to ever keep it and run for himself. With Fields, you had that element. So being quarterback 2, do they have a package of plays, right? This is where we get to see what stuff Tanner is really made out of and what kind of offense he can put together. But when you're working with Tyrod Taylor, we saw it. I understand it was the underthrow to Allen Lazard, but they opened up the playbook so much more in that second half against Carolina with Taylor in at quarterback. They were running plays that they've never even thought to run with Justin Fields, some double reverse flea flicker to Allen Lazard. That's not in the playbook when Fields is out there. So it does change things, but I also think the passing concepts are really going to be more evolved rather than just spot, where you have a corner, a hitch, and a flat, and it's just an easy read and like basic concepts with Fields.
I certainly hope we see just more competency across the board, because even if the Jets don't win, that is something that you're looking to see the remainder of these games here. 7 games to go. Let's get into the tanking conversation now. If you go on Twitter, if you go and talk with Jet fans in your life, there's plenty who just want the Jets to lose out, right? Finish with 2 wins, get as high of a draft pick as you possibly can. And I'm never going to tell anyone how to fan, because ultimately how we root has no impact on what the Jets are actually going to do. We know they're not going to intentionally lose games. Players play, coaches coach. Nothing's guaranteed for any of these guys, especially most football players whose average career is 3 years or less. So no one's going to intentionally try to lose. There's organizational tanking where, you could basically start worst players and put it under the guidelines of evaluation mode. Like if they went to Brady Cook at the end here and he clearly was overmatched, they could justify it by saying we're seeing what we have. Like there's ways for the organization to give the team a less chance to win, but teams don't tank, right? Players and coaches, they don't tank. Where do you stand in the tanking conversation? Because there's so many Jet fans at this point at 2-8, Dylan. They just want to see losses the rest of the way, finish 2-15, and hopefully we have the number 1 or number 2 pick.
Yeah, and you can't really argue with them, because at the end of the day, their end goal is to find that franchise quarterback and turn the whole thing around. So like at the end of the day, I can't tell you that that's the wrong way of thinking. For me personally as a fan, but also somebody who has to talk about this team weekly or daily or semi-daily, it's not fun talking about losses in any capacity. So yes, until we're mathematically eliminated, there's the hope. And I know that there was a graphic going around on Instagram of like, if the Jets did X, Y, and Z, but then A through P also happened over here, we can sneak in as the 7th seed. And I'm like, okay, this is a crazy world we live in, but we're not mathematically eliminated. So I do want to just see competitive games down the stretch. If we end up losing, I'm not going to sit here and, get red in the face, veins popping out and things of that nature. But if things happen like bad coaching mistakes, like we've seen earlier this season from AG, then yeah, we can start to be a little bit more angry. So for me personally, I don't condone the tank, but you also have to look at it from the player angle. And that's the third element of this that nobody really talks about. It's very easy for you or me or Alan the other week when he called in to just say he doesn't care about these games and they're meaningless. But if you ask the 80 men in that locker room, the 80 men in that locker room, 77 of them are going to tell you that all those games mean something. Like maybe there's 3 of them that are like, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, probably not. But like everybody wants to go win for the Jets right now. So until they have that, mentality switch in the locker room, I feel like outside the locker room, I'm just going to root for wins as well.
I'm right there with you. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let me break the news on our outstanding giveaway today, ladies and gentlemen. End of the show. Signed, Joe Namath football. That's right. You better get in there. Stepping up the giveaways over these next few shows, because this week is our 50th Asmaniac raffle. So if you don't win the Namath football, maybe on Tuesday you'll want to sign Nick Mangold football, Armand Membu signed jersey, and a signed Wayne Corbett football. So awesome prizes, but Namath up for grabs at the end of the show. Gift to enter or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel and support these raffles that we have officially been doing almost a year as of this upcoming week. So appreciate the audience for that. You know, the thing is, I don't want the Jets to be embarrassed in these games. If they lose, I will not be disgusted. But if they lose because of Aaron Glenn making terrible decisions, like what happened in London, for example, that will bother me, because I don't care where you're picking this year. If your head coach is inept, you're not going to win no matter what. So I'm rooting for improvement. I'm also realistic as we look at the FanDuel line for Sunday. The Jets are a 13.5-point underdog in this game. So I'm not expecting them to win, but can you show some fight? Like, that's what I would like to see. Can you be competitive? Could we see the younger players on this team play well? I think those are the things you want to see. Obviously, it sucks to have to try and rationalize whether you want your team to win or lose, but we have no control over it. So whatever happens, happens. And if the Jets love one of these quarterbacks, they're going to trade up, whether we like it or not. I think that's been their plan from the beginning when they made these trades. So I'm rooting for the Jets because I have no choice. It doesn't mean I have a lot of faith in what they're doing.
Yeah, if there is one silver lining in all of the 100% total agreement we're going to have across the board here, there is a little bit of hope when you have so many future assets. Obviously, this year, it is what it is. It sucks, right? We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's not like there's no, trying to moral victory our way out of this season. It has just sucked. But the fact that you have 8 premium picks over the next 2 years, that gives you some hope that, hey, these guys are going to make the improvements to this roster. Outside of the rookie class, I was just telling you beforehand, there's 10, 11 guys who have 2 or more years left on their contract that this regime has brought in as like their full on guys. So like everybody else on a 1-year deal, you're going to see 35 new faces in the building next year. So the hope is that you turn it around quicker than we've been sold by regimes of the past, of that 4 to 6 year rebuild and expansion level roster. We're definitely better than an expansion level roster. And you can accelerate that by hitting on the quarterback that you take in the top 5, 7, 8, or 10, or whatever pick we end up getting, and not drafting a historic bust at number 2, right? That's not going to help your process. So everything can turn around quicker, but the hope is we're not the Falcons, right? We're not 3-7, and the Rams currently hold our top 10 pick, and they're looking at finding the successor to Matthew Stafford with that pick, whereas they could be looking at it because Michael Penix sucks and keeps getting injured, and Kirk Cousins is just dry cleaned. So it could be worse. So the hope is the future, but obviously the now sucks.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Finnegan's Flight Crew wants to know, Dylan, what are your thoughts on V-Man's weed addiction?
I have nothing to say about people that smoke weed. I'd rather V-Man be smoking than drinking that bottle that he hits pretty heavily. So
hey, what's up?
I heard there were some allegations of him being pretty intoxicated or inebriated of some capacity when he called in this morning. So good for him, man. I mean, I'm a smoker myself, though. I enjoy it.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Reminder, get in the raffle today if you want a chance to win at the end of the show a signed Joe Namath football. The conversation on my first show today, Dylan, was centered around a mock draft that ESPN posted. Matt Miller, the draft analyst there, posted his first mock. And of course, if you're going to do anything mock draft related, the fan base is going to be very, very split. And this year, I think we might actually all kill each other in the offseason debating what the approach should be in this draft. But for those who missed it, in the mock draft, the Jets move up from number 5, or I guess he has it at number 4, although Tankathon shows the Jets at 5. So either 4 or 5, whatever, to move all the way up to number 1 with the Titans. And you had a great job summing this up. The Jets, while moving up to number 1, they traded, obviously, their own first, so they do the swap, the Colts first, which right now is pick 28, and next year's second-round pick. So the Jets make these moves here. They make the trade, and then Matt Miller had the Jets drafting Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza with the number 1 pick. DT, if you're Darren Muji and you have a chance to do this exact same thing come draft night, are you making the deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to, right? We just talked about all those picks, 8 premium picks. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to use them in the right ways to maneuver the draft board. And part of that hope of having the picks is you get to control your own destiny in a sense. Obviously, if teams don't want to trade out of that pick, then you can't really do anything about it, but you at least have the ability to try to go do it. So the package to me, yeah, if you want to, argue maybe they give up their natural second this year instead of pick 28 so that they get the first overall pick, the 28th pick in the first round, and then they still have, Dallas's second round pick. So you have to, at some point there has to be a line in the sand for Darren Muji where it doesn't make sense anymore. But this to me doesn't, mortgage the future, which if you read some of the comments to this tweet of mine that I put out this morning, it's very split. Like some people are like, this is absolutely the worst thing. Some people are like, you have to do it in a heartbeat. I think at this point you have to do it because nobody's guaranteed to be there at 4, right? I don't know who's picking ahead of the Jets currently, but I know there is at least one team that's going to be quarterback needy in the mix with us and other teams that could look to try to jump us. So yeah. Okay. Here's the graphic. Yeah. The Giants probably aren't taking their quarterback. Obviously Cleveland, they could take a quarterback. New Orleans could take a quarterback, and then the Jets. So like Dante Moore doesn't come out and we're sitting at 5 with QB3 being John Mateer, Garrett Nussmeier. Like we don't want to get into that realm. So yeah, that's why I say you trade up and you find a way to get as close as you can to having as many quarterbacks as you can on the board, because then you're just picking the wrong guy at that point. You're not getting stuck with the guy and you're not getting left out of the dance either, because that's the quickest way to get this regime out of here is to completely misread the draft board, get jumped, or not have their guy on the board or any guy on the board. And then you're reaching for somebody, or you're waiting till 28 and you're trying to get a guy that I just named like Mateer or Sellers or Nussmeier, Aller, and you don't love that.
I think it comes down to the simple question the Jets will ask themselves. Is Fernando Mendoza our guy? Or insert Ty Simpson if that is their guy? Because if you're trading the number 1, you control the draft. And when would they do this deal? Do the Jets look at it like, hey, we have high grades on both these guys. We're just going to get up to number 1, and then we'll figure out who we're going to take from there? Or is this going to be something where they're going to wait and go through free agency and see if they could get a veteran that could be the long-term answer? See if the Joe Burrow, hot smoke actually turns out to be legitimate and there's a chance, right? Like, or are the Jets just dead set, hey, we've scouted these guys all college football season. We know we like both of them. Let's get up to number 1 if it is Tennessee or it is the Giants, a team we know is not taking a quarterback, and let's figure out who we're going to take from there. So, like, that's the other thing. The approach by these teams and the Jets in this case, are they just, we're going to get a quarterback no matter what? We like both of them. We'll figure it out. Or are they only doing it if they know they can get the guy they like? Because there is a chance that some of these guys go back to school and then the Jets will have no interest in taking who's ever left.
100%. And that's Declaration Day is obviously, I think the first major hurdle, but, and this is kind of free promo for now the Panini Senior Bowl, not the Reese's Senior Bowl, and more reason for you to come down, Jake. That's the week when things start really ramping up in terms of news and who likes what, because that's the first time all 32 teams are in the same environment, right? Think about years past, stories that have broken while Senior Bowl had just started. The Rex Hogan news for the Jets, and this is just Jet-centric. The Rodgers stuff really ramped up in Mobile as well. So there's going to be a lot of buzz coming into and out of Mobile that entire week of like, this team likes this guy and this team likes this guy. So we're going to try to maneuver here. And maybe one of these guys that we like is actually at the event, which is another great reason to go. But yeah, I think it's going to be around that week. So like late January, early February, I think that's when this team likes this player stuff is really going to ramp up. And that's when you make the move, right? That's when the Jets traded their picks to go get Sam Darnold, right? It was, I think, early March or between the Senior Bowl and the Combine.
St. Patrick's Day is when they made the move.
Yeah, my birthday. Exactly. Yeah. So like right around free agency. So like they still had a whole month of their process still to divvy out who they wanted. And the guy that they wanted probably ended up falling to them in a situation where they didn't think he was even going to be there, right? Sam was supposed to go number 1 overall until about 60 hours before the draft. And all of a sudden they pivoted. Dorsey and the Browns pivoted to Baker Mayfield. So anything can happen, but I think Senior Bowl week is where the news really starts ramping up.
It's going to be crazy, man. It really is. It is going to be a wild offseason. I will again say this, though. I think the value is fine here. If the Jets love Mendoza or whoever, I don't think this is unreasonable at all. You're swapping your 1. Duh. That's the whole point of Tennessee doing this. They're still getting a premium player by moving back a few slots. And you're trading one of the first that you got in the Sauce Gardner deal. That's why you made the Sauce Gardner trade, to hopefully get your quarterback. And yes, you're also trading a second in 27. But folks, you're not touching the 2027 first round picks. You still have 3 of them. So You got to give to get. And if the Jets believe that this quarterback they're acquiring at number 1 overall is their guy, you got to let him do it. That was the whole point of everyone praising Muji for getting all these picks. Yes, it was to obviously have ammunition to fill out the rest of the team. But you also have $100 million in cap space to do that before the draft. And even if I made this exact deal, then I still have 3 first-round picks in 2027, and I still have 2 second-round picks in this year's draft. So if the Jets love a certain player, they are still armed with ammunition to move back into round 1 to get a really good player, as Joe Douglas did with Jermaine Johnson, for example. So I really think the value here is perfect. I have no issue with that. To me, it gets dicey if it's a lot more than this. Then it's like, all right, is the juice worth the squeeze? Even then it comes down to, do you believe in the guy or not? If you think he's going to be a stud, they're going to make the deal. We might not like it, but their jobs are on the line to evaluate if Mendoza, Simpson, Dante Moore, whoever the options are at that point, are worth multiple picks, including maybe one of those first rounders in 27. But this doesn't even touch that, which to me makes it a no-brainer.
Well, do you think, and this is, I guess, just to try to get into the minds of the people that are saying, no, absolutely don't do this trade. Do you think it's just not having belief in the player that they're coming up for, whether they just don't like Mendoza or don't like Simpson because there isn't that generational label on a quarterback to make it worth it? I mean, I don't know.
I hate the generational stuff too.
Of course.
Because the guys that have had that label the last couple of years have not been that good in the NFL. And there's been guys that have been way better that had no hype around them. Jackson Dart would go 1-1 right now. No one at this time was talking about him as even a first round pick. And even on draft day, there was a debate. Would he even go in the first round? Someone going to trade back in for him, which ended up happening. But like, there was nobody knows. Like, everyone gives these such strong opinions on quarterbacks. I was guilty of it years ago. I've stopped it. I had no idea. I have no clue. I thought Josh Allen was going to suck and Sam Darnold was going to be great. I actually thought Zach Wilson was going to pan out okay. Like, nobody knows. Like, if you go and check all these guys that do this for a living, they have all these misses on quarterback. It's the hardest position in sports to properly evaluate. If it was easy, every team in the NFL would have a good one. But there's probably only like 15 on the planet that are actually very, very good. That's it. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me personally, I'm okay with it because I'm okay with either quarterback you're coming up with for, whether it's Simpson or Mendoza. I've already done my full breakdown on Mendoza on my channel, but I'm in the middle of putting together my Ty Simpson one. And yeah, there's obviously some flaws with these guys. And to your point, I hate that generational label. And we either use it way too much or we use it as like too much of like it has to be this or nothing type of scenario. So it goes both ways. It's like using PFF numbers. It only works when it supports your case, right? So I hate the generational label, but you have to just evaluate this class as this class, right? Don't compare it to last year. Don't compare it to this year. In this class, when you have the pick, is that guy worth the spot? And if they think it's worth the spot, then you have to go with it, right? Obviously, we can argue that it's not worth it or wait till next year, but our jobs aren't on the line for waiting till next year, you know? So,
and the wait till next year crowd told me that this year's class was going to be special. And it hasn't panned out in the slightest. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson were not on everyone's list to be consensus top 15 picks at this time a year ago. It was Nussmeier, it was Sellers, it was Klubnik. And like, none of those guys are going in the first round if they came out.
Nope, they'd all be day 2 picks probably at best right now. And that's just because the need for quarterback pushes them all up the board. And yeah, you could say Arch Manning is great. Julian Sayin from Ohio State is awesome. And CJ Carr is, you know, so much upside. You can't do that yet. You have to evaluate this class first and then talk about next year, unless they have a plan to, you know, fix that spot before the draft, right? Do they trade for a veteran or do they go acquire a young player on somebody else's team that they think could be that guy? You have to figure it out before you get to the draft, so you don't end up with all your draft picks in your hand and no quarterback at the end of round 1.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I know a lot of people want in on this, but let me shout out our guy, Eli Betts. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Happy almost Thanksgiving, Eli. Joe Namath signed football is the raffle prize. Make sure you get in if you want a chance to win. Eli just gifted 5 to the community for 5 raffle tickets. Michael Levinson with a $20 super chat here. He's also entering the raffle with this. Thank you, Michael. Hi, Jake and Dylan. I listen to a lot of Jets content. Connor Rogers, Connor Hughes, both not sold on the quarterbacks. What's your opinion? I want a Namath ball. LOL. Well, Michael, thank you for the support. I like both guys as well. And again, we all have these opinions. They mean nothing. Because ultimately, guys that we think suck end up being great, and guys that are generational, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, they're mid. Like Patrick Mahomes, where was he picked? Was he picked 1? No, he was not. The best quarterbacks in the league, Lamar Jackson, where was he picked? Was he picked 1? Was he picked 2, 3? No, he wasn't. Josh Allen, where was he picked? He wasn't picked in the top 5. Like you go down the line here. I won't even do like the one everyone brings about. Tom Brady was a 6th round pick.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like I get it. Most of the quarterbacks though in the NFL come from the 1st round, but that does not mean that they need to be in the top 5 in order to get that guy, or we need to like know for sure that they're the perfect prospect. Trevor Lawrence was the perfect prospect. He has been very mediocre. Let's call it for what it is. He is not. If he was in a different market, what do you think the conversation around Trevor Lawrence would be?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And the Ravens, people forget they drafted a tight end in the 1st round before they drafted Lamar Jackson. They traded back in and had a second, crack at the 1st round that year. So they even passed up on Lamar Jackson and hoped that he'd be there at 32. Obviously, the Ravens are good at what they do, and they probably knew that. But to get back to Michael's question, I mean, to me, I'd have to lean Mendoza right now. I have more exposure to Mendoza. I've watched 3 games of all 22. I've broken him down on the channel fully. I've watched more live games than I have of Ty Simpson. I just got through South Carolina and Oklahoma with Ty Simpson, which are probably 2 of his worst games on the season, but I did that intentionally because I wanted to see him up against better defenses. Right now, Mendoza's ball placement is like about as elite as you can get it without trying to use the word elite too much. He just puts it in such a spot where it's very catchable and his guys can just catch it and run with it very easily. I like that about him. I like his intelligence right now, his ability to read coverages pre-snap, diagnose where he has to go with the ball. And if it's not there, get through his read and go. He has enough mobility to break down if the play breaks down. Ty Simpson, a lot of the same things, right? Deep read progressions. Like he's looking at his 3rd, sometimes his 4th read on a progression. He'll look to the left, he'll come back to the right, and then he'll hit his check down. He's doing a phenomenal job at reading his progressions. He doesn't run as much, and Mendoza doesn't really run as much either. But when Ty Simpson runs, he's pretty physical as a runner. He's always trying to look to get that extra couple yards. So I do like that about him. He has a really strong arm. He can make all the throws on the field, but I don't like his deep ball accuracy. He has a lot of missed deep throws, whether they're, drops that were not in the best place or it was just an overthrow or a wide throw. Outside of like 20 yards, he does get a little shaky with his accuracy. So I would give Mendoza the lean with the accuracy stuff, but there's a lot of upside with the Ty Simpson stuff, being that he's only started 9 games and he's very impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bang Mateo writes in, you could thank the Jets for Drake May. Can we put an end to this dumb narrative? If the Jets had lost that last game to Belichick, New England would have picked 4. They were still taking Drake May. The Cardinals were either not moving or would have done a pick swap with New England, who honed in on Drake May as their guy the entire time. The idea that people keep perpetuating like this narrative that, because the Jets won that game against Belichick and he's stuck. Like, no, that's not what happened here. All right. Nothing would have changed. Stop saying it. I don't have patience for it. Unless you pay me to read your comments, I'm not reading them. Bang. Like this one. I'm greedy. I want to lose. Keep all my goddamn picks. But I'll tell you what, Bang. I ideally would not have to trade up. But if I do, I do. And the deal that was offered, at least today that we're discussing, to me was more than fair. Bino, Heis Mendoza, Hut. I mean, right now he would be the Heisman, right? Indiana's number 1. Out of nowhere. He has great statistics. He had the Heisman moment game that you look for on a candidate when he had the unbelievable comeback versus Penn State. Like, I think Mendoza right now would probably be the favorite to win the Heisman.
Yeah. I don't know who else is like in the running, but the way that he
from Ohio State.
Julian, he's something else, and we'll get into him next year. But yeah, if it came down to those 2, I would definitely say it's got to go to Mendoza. And obviously, you have to tip your cap. Both of those programs have really good coaching as well. So
yeah, Daddy's a beast, man. That guy is fun.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know what his like past history looked like, where he came from, but I mean, usually
he was at JMU. He was at James Madison.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's such a great, find or like pluck from a JMU program. So like usually this stuff takes like 3 or 4 years, but it looks like he did it in like a year and a half. So good on him. That's awesome. But we'll see what happens.
Mike Dems in the raffle. Joe Namath signed football. You people better enter. Let's go, baby. We're paying homage to Broadway Joe. Move to try some Namath merch before Hamburger's dream comes true and it becomes the late Joe Namath first. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are absolutely disgusted with the Hamburger's comments that the Jets won't win until Joe Namath is no longer with us because he believes in the Namath curse. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and clear the air with the Burger right now. Mr. Burger, you start us off today.
People are mad about that, like they haven't heard it before. Get over it. Like, let's be real. It's been
Dave Brigger wants to slap you.
Yeah, well, life is what it is, brother. You know, if he hasn't been around the world and hasn't heard the Joe Namath curse for the last 30 years, I don't know what to tell him.
Do you want Joe Namath to die?
No, and I never said I want Joe Namath to die. I said, unfortunately, I believe possibly that we are cursed, and we might not get it until he passes on. Well, let's be real. The guy's, how old is he now? 78, almost 80? I mean, I'm not wishing for him to die, but it is what it is. We all know about the curse. We all talk about the curse. So you want to be mad at me? Go be mad at the rest of the freaking Jet fans for the last 30 years that believe it. I could care less, and I ain't apologizing for it.
I think the problem is Dave Brigger is very offended that you would call into this show and have that as your take. We're better than the internet slop that's out there.
It's not internet. It's been almost my whole life. It has not before the internet. It's not. This is not a new thing. So if he wants to be mad at me for it, you know, it's kind of childish, and you know, it is what it is. But
hey, Frank P says there is no curse, bozo.
Oh, sure. Okay. How long has he been watching the Jets?
I think he watched Namath play.
Oh, really? At Bozo's, me and probably 100,000 other, well, not maybe 100,000, but another 20,000 Jet fans that I've ever talked to my whole life believe
Dave
in the
Brigger
curse.
says, I've heard it before, Burger. Don't be silly. You're an adult.
And his point is?
Don't be silly. You're an adult.
Okay. Sure. I'll take that advice. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't say it's a fact. I'm saying it's possible. It's 100% possible. We've all talked about it for years. So to sit there and act like Hamburger is the evil guy that wants Joe Namath dead is kind of comical, if you ask me.
So Joe Namath is 82, Hamburger. Now let's get this on the record for everyone. You do not wish death upon Joe Willie.
Hell, I don't wish death upon anybody, buddy. Nobody. Not even my worst enemies I don't wish death upon. So let's make that clear. I don't hope Joe Namath dies. I thought he was a great quarterback. Did I ever get to see him play? No. But is there that possibility that Joe Namath made the deal with the devil? Who knows? He guaranteed it and won it. So it's just a myth. It's something that us tortured Jet fans kind of throw out for a reason that possibly why we're so tortured forever. So why not? I don't wish death upon him. My whole thought was we might not win anything until he passes on. Not that I hope Joe Namath dies, but yeah. So move on from this topic. That's kind of comical. If you guys are mad about it.
All right, Hamburger has now gone on the record saying that he does not wish death upon Joe Willie.
Hey, that's not a take I would really take up. But then again, I don't believe in the devil. So how can you make a deal with the devil?
What a moment. I want to get right back to the super chats now, and then we're going to get right back to your calls. Appreciate everyone. We are giving away a signed Joe Namath football at the end of the show. And Hamburger, even if you entered the raffle and you won, I refuse to send it to you after you just wish death. No, I'm just kidding. Mike, already read that one. Okay, Lou B in the house. What's up, Lou? I'll cry if we don't get Mendoza or Ty, but if we don't, Jeremiah Love is so good. If Hall leaves, would you consider? Love's a touchdown machine. I know it's early for a running back, but the guy is epic. I am out on running backs. The same things they're saying about Jeremiah, did they not say about Ashton Genty a year ago? You need now look, the Jets do have an offensive line, but no, I want to keep Brees. I'm not creating another hole by letting Brees go and then replacing him with another running back that's going to have a 4 to 5 year shelf life with the Jets. Not worth it. They had too many other needs.
No, I was with him on the first sentence. I'd probably cry if Mendoza and Simpson aren't there and Dante Moore goes back to school, right? That'd be the worst case scenario. But then I pivot and I take a wide receiver. Not Golden Tate, Jesus. Carnell Tate Or Jordan Tyson, he's got an injury history. Maybe Mekhi Lemon, right in that spot if you miss out on the guys. So we'll see.
PBM in the house. Mr. I saved Jake Asman when his Twitter account was hacked today. Mike, thank you again for your assistance with everything. My account is still not back, people. So hopefully I get it back soon. I don't know when, but hopefully it doesn't take like 10 days like it did for Connie Carberg. And like O'Leary was down for like 2 days when this happened to him. So I don't know how long it will be for me. But again, thanks to PBM. There is no curse, but the cure is better quarterback play. The only curse the Jets have is Woody Johnson. Get it right, Jets. Get it effing right. For more on this, why don't we check in right now with the man that they do, in fact, call PBM.
Purple about Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Hey, yo. Yeah, I knew Hamburger didn't want any death to Namath. I mean, come on, guys.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
No, he doesn't want him to die. If he believes in the curse, then whatever. People can believe whatever they want, but I just think it's ineptitude at an organizational level.
Do you think Dave Briga on site is dropping Hamburger?
No, I don't think so. That would be funny though, but no, I don't think so.
I don't either. All respect to Dave.
So hypothetical scenario here. Let's say the Jets are picking number 2 overall and the Titans have the first overall pick. Will the Jets trade up at that point, or they're going to be happy, you think, with either Ty or Mendoza?
My hope is the latter, that they like both enough to say we can let the Titans take whoever and we get one of either of the 2 quarterbacks, or somebody jumps the Jets and takes somebody at 1 and then they take the other one. My hope is that they like both enough. Now, they've done enough research that has publicly come out about them and, Fernando Mendoza. I think Muji's gone to like 2 or 3 of their games at this point, and a contingency of their scouting staff, whether it's Spielman or other people as well, have gone to those games for Indiana. So I don't know if that's reciprocated for Ty Simpson. Perhaps they're doing the most work right now on Mendoza because they know he's going to come out, and they're still iffy on if Ty Simpson or Dante Moore or any of the other guys are actually going to come out or not. So my hope is they like either, but if they're at 2, I don't think they trade up regardless.
Got it. Can I do a password PSA for everybody, Jake?
Yeah, please educate the fine people of the Asmaniac community.
All right. So there's got to be a vector for someone to get in. So it could be with you clicking a link from either an email or a fake account or something like that. Or you have an easy to guess password, which is what happened to Jake. That was your vector, Jake.
Is it the characters? Like you got to have
Yeah. So there's 2 things there. It has to be at least 12 characters, but it can't be an easy to guess password. And what I mean by that is, this is a Jet show. So if we have Jets 1969 !
Hamburger's password is Joe Namath must die 69.
That's actually probably good.
That's a lot.
But Jets 1969 ! Not good. Or if you did winter 2025 ! Not good. Password 1 2 3 4 ! Not good. It has to be unique. It has to be at least 12 characters, and watch out for the links and the DMs. People will impersonate people, and with emails, instead of it being Jake Asman, they might have like the M and the S switched. You have to like really look before you click links, because the guys, it's not that sophisticated, but they get you on little things. And it's one time for a human error, and then it goes into another thing. And there's a third vector. So I know most of you have iPhones, but if you have an iPhone and you go to your passwords, it'll tell you like compromised passwords. That's compiling from websites that have been compromised. So for instance, if you had like Sears back in the day or TJ Maxx or whatever account, and their website was hacked, your credentials on that website are hacked. So that means that hacked information is in a repository for the hackers, the dark web that people talk about, and they buy and sell those credentials. And all it takes is one person to see that and then try it for your Twitter, try it for your Instagram, try it for this, that, and the other. And if they get in, they get in.
Hey, what's up?
That's what they say when they get in.
Yeah.
That's
So
what they say.
make sure you change your passwords to 12 characters, unique. And if any of them have been involved in a breach, make sure you change it and don't use it for anything else.
Hey,
And
is the password Gabagool68 a good password?
that is 10 characters. So that does not
What about
go.
Abracadoodle69420?
That's a very good one.
What about password?
No, password is one of the commonly used ones. Microsoft puts out every year, and some other companies put out the top 10 most used or easy to guess passwords. And what a bad guy will do is they'll take that file, put that in a tool, and they do the attack called a password spray, and they run it against all known stuff. And whatever they can get in with it, they will. And they do it with a lot of businesses because a lot of people with business accounts have like password 1234 as their password. So if you don't want to be involved in any of that stuff, just be a little bit smarter and look out. It's kind of annoying, but dealing with what Jake's dealing with right now sucks. So
What about the password? I don't wash potatoes. 1063 exclamation point, like the
That's
human
a-
fund suggested.
that's actually my password. So shit, now I got to change it.
Mike,
So it
thanks
must
for your
be
help
too
today.
easy.
Yeah, you got it.
Maybe I'll make my password gobble, gobble, gobble.
I like everybody sharing their passwords in the chat. Thanks, guys.
We've had some good ones.
I know.
Let's see. Yeah, this brought me back to a very famous clip in recent Jake Asman show history. I'm trying to find it if I still have it available. Where is it?
Peggin Army. Dylan 6, jet fuel 0 exclamation. Absolutely. That's a great one.
Keep reading comments. I'm trying to find this.
Oh, that's funny. We got some freakiness needing to be calmed down.
What else is new?
What about Alan Jets loss hard on? That's a good one.
Where is this? There's a very famous clip that needs to be played.
Little
Ladies and
Joey
gentlemen,
ain't leaving 5150. That's a good one.
sit back and enjoy. And then after this, we're going to get right back to your calls.
I'm going through a very difficult crisis right now because I just lost my damn chat thing. I don't know what the fuck the hell I'm doing right now. My chat thing in the YouTube is gone. I don't know what the hell I did. I just lost it.
Your chat thing in the YouTube is gone.
We don't have to fall to pieces. Let's one step at a time.
Because I lost my temper because somebody from this year came back to piss me off even more.
Beast, just take it easy. Now, did you see the Rich Eisen clip, Beast? He's a big fan of yours. Back right here on the Michael K Show. Jake Asman in for Michael till 3 o'clock. And joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
Yes, I know that, but I'm trying to figure out how to get my chat thing back. I don't even know what I'm doing.
What are you crying about it?
I'm trying to fix the chat. It's a mess. Look at it. Look.
Okay, you can't see the chat. Just hit the refresh button on your browser. Try that.
And it's driving me crazy because
Beast, why are you in tears over the YouTube chat? This is not something to cry about.
I lost everything.
You lost the chat for an afternoon. Just restart your browser first.
Hit F5, Beast. Hit the F5 button.
F5?
Yeah. There we go.
You got rid of him. This was Robbie Sabo to Beast.
You get the fuck out.
Hit F5. He's gone. You got rid of him. Are we back, Beast? Everything good?
I did an F5 on the whole thing, and it's just...
It's not showing still? What?
No, it's not showing.
All right.
Idiots. Having a rough freaking day.
Because you can't see the YouTube chat?
No,
Did you see the Cracker Barrel logo?
what in the... I don't like that picture of mine.
Was this you in the ring a couple of years ago, by the way?
What the hell are you talking about? Watch closely. You're in my house, biatch.
Good stuff there from Beast. We covered a lot. Amazing moment in time. Got me thinking about that clip as I was dealing with my Twitter hack today, and Beast was hacked by Bobby Beasley. Couldn't see the YouTube chat. Unbelievable.
I did an F5 to the whole thing. That's the best quote of that whole thing.
Unbelievable. While that video was playing, one of our favorites, who Dylan, you and I got to meet down in Tampa, the great Janice Jett just checked in, and she is in the Namath raffle, gifting 10 channel memberships to the community.
It's up to you
New York, New York.
If you got a membership from Janice, make sure you thank her. She's one of the greats. We're going to get right back to your outstanding calls right now because we got a who's who of Asmaniacs on the line. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop what we're doing and let's right now say hello to the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
What do we got tonight, Chuck Wagon?
Just doing spaghetti and Alfredo sauce.
All right.
Something easy.
Well, guess what? We're about to have a chef off. Chef Kevin's on the line. What's up, Chef Kev?
Hey, what up, y'all? How you doing? DT, what up, brother?
What's up, Chef Kev? How you doing, bro?
Another beautiful day, man. I hope my internet's good, man. It's been crapping out here for the last 2 weeks. I've been pretty annoyed, so just send me the heave ho if it's not really clicking. Chuck Wagon, what you got, man?
No, just spaghetti. Just Barilla spaghetti and Alfredo sauce.
You make the Alfredo sauce fresh from scratch, or you pulling
No,
out of a
not
can?
this time. No, out of a can. Sorry, just trying to make it easy for myself tonight.
As long as you're happy, man. As long as it's fulfilling, you feel good. I can't hate, man. Like anybody who cooks at home, I don't really critique like that unless it's like undercooked. My man Beast, I mean, I saw him with his medium rare
Meatball
meatballs
sauce.
the other day. Like that was a
Wow.
little tough. That was a tough watch.
Yeah.
But you know, Chuck Wagon, like I love presentation, man. Like if you could dress it up nice, get the little grater, little Romano cheese over the top, maybe a little parsley or something. Now you bring it to another level. It don't matter about the sauce as long as you could doctor up a little bit.
What are you cooking tonight, Chef Kev?
So we got everything going on, man. I guess I'll just jump right into it because there has been some talks about pie. I know like people got like the apple, the blueberry, a whole bunch. Underrated, man. Peanut butter pie, but this is a Reese's one. All right, this is a Reese's peanut butter pie that we make fresh in the house with the graham cracker crust. The only thing that's missing is whipped cream. I need fresh whipped cream on here. Rosa,
hey now.
let me get some whipped cream on here. Let's go, Rosa.
Calm your freaky down.
Mas. There we go. I mean, that's beautiful, but then you gotta hit it with some sexy sauce, man. Come on, get that chocolate sauce on.
I wish Beast was on hold. I mean, he'd be loving this.
I just hope he ain't mad at me for me talking crap about his meatballs, man. But this
Beast will have a heart attack just by watching.
Gobble, gobble. That Reese's peanut butter cup is special, man.
That looks so damn good.
That's what we're cooking here, man.
I love it.
Hey,
you have a jet take, Chef?
Thank you, man. DT, Aaron Glenn, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying in just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. I'm a little bit there because he bench Fields. He's noticing the locker room, the games. I think with the media, it was just kind of like some stuff where behind the scenes he was getting things together. Like he already knew, but he finally took action. So, he's moving the needle a little bit for me. I still have my doubts, but the big thing is the quarterback situation. And we're going to clearly address it during the draft. But then who's going to really groom our quarterback up right? Because with AG, man, I don't see anybody on the staff who's really going to be able to help whatever quarterback that comes in. And knowing Aaron Glenn is the cornerback himself, he couldn't even get the secondary really right. So this is my concerns, man. Could you kind of like help me out understand if he's really the guy to make this team better with our quarterback that we draft?
Yeah, it wouldn't be AG that I'm trying to sell you on, Chef. It would probably be Tanner Engstrand, and to a lesser degree, Scott Turner. I think Scott Turner has a ton of knowledge from his father, Norv, obviously. He's the pass game coordinator / senior assistant. So I would say between Tanner and Scott Turner, that's probably where you're going to look to find the most development out of your quarterback. Obviously, AG is going to have some input on the quarterback overall. I don't think he's going to have his thumb right on the quarterback. Like I look at Mike Vrabel and Drake May, I don't see it really being that sort of relationship. And maybe it ends up being something similar or closer to that I'm thinking. But I also think you have to go out and you have to replace Charles London as your quarterback coach and find somebody who has given you a semblance of success with a quarterback in the past. And I don't really have a name to invoke there. So if I'm trying to sell you on AG, I have to bring up the hires that I think he did well with, which is Engstrand and obviously Banjo, but that's not going to help a quarterback. And then, I think Muji being an Aaron Glenn sort of hire, like I think those are three key pieces. And Muji obviously is going to be the guy making the decision. So selling somebody on AG right now is probably an impossible task, but I can sell you on some pieces of the coaching staff where I feel like Mendoza or Ty Simpson with this team as it currently is right now, we probably have 2 more wins. Like it's that bad right now where I think a rookie quarterback would be doing a lot better than what we've been seeing right now.
Also, maybe a better defensive coordinator. My God.
Oh, yeah. And that's obviously not related to the quarterback, but at the same time, he's saying that there's still like confusion issues in week 11. And
I know.
It's absolutely embarrassing.
They have 1 turnover in 10 games. Like, it's enough.
The next closest team, and this was like in that packet of information you sent me, the next closest team is the Giants and Commanders with 6 turnovers. Like, we're 5 turnovers behind. That is not just like, oh, 1 game, we can make that up. No, you can't get 5. I mean, you can get 5 turnovers in a game, but it's not going to happen. So it's a tough sell with Steve Wilkes, but to a degree, if your defensive coordinator can get your turnovers figured out and you get off the field, that means your offense is back on the field. So it is, complementary football is a thing for a reason. So we do need better play from the defense to give the Browns game, dude. They had a 22-yard pass right immediately following the fumble by Justin Fields. Or was it a fumble? No, the interception by Justin Fields. They got it at the 22-yard line. They threw a touchdown on the very first pass. That is so unheard of with the Jets right now because you, 1, can't force the turnover, and 2, you can't complete a 22-yard pass downfield. So it's like we need to get those things out of the way, but everything's going to help a quarterback at the end of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know what will help the Asmaniac community, the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hi. Oh, hi, Jake.
Hey, Lane.
Hello, Dylan. Tillman.
Lane, how are you? Lane Kilner.
Lane Kilner. So, it's almost Thanksgiving, and the reason why I called is because also I like that one. It's so funny. So yeah, I liked what Kevin Gilbert made his Reese's Sunday, talking about the foods.
What's your favorite type of pie, Lane?
You know what I'm so into? I've been eating a lot of this pecan pie from Trader Joe's. And also I'm into lemon meringue pies because I get it from Amazon Fresh.
Nice. Now, what's your favorite food item on Thanksgiving, Lane?
A nice turkey to eat.
You're a turkey guy? Would you eat beast?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh yeah, actually, the other reason why I called is, the thing about Mendoza, and then you talk about the draft. Who do you think that you want to see the Jets draft? Do they want to get a QB, a CF, or an L?
What's a CF? A center fielder?
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be a new position for football, though.
You got to have a big arm to be a center fielder, right?
Yeah, do you get a FW or do you get a QB?
You mean an FWB?
Running back. Yeah. Do you get
friends with benefit?
Back? Yeah, do you get a running back? in the draft?
Dylan, did we get a running back?
I would take a center fielder before a running back. If I'm just being honest, I'd rather have somebody with a big arm than somebody who's just going to run it. That's just me. But a FW, I'm very interested in the FW rankings when they come out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't think we need another quarterback.
Who's your quarterback?
Justin Fields.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Mendoza is I don't know if they want to think about bringing him back because he was traded already. I mean,
well, Mendoza's in college. Fields is currently on the Jets.
Yeah. Now, if you draft Mendoza,
yep,
you would have the draft going into 2026 next year.
That is 2026. Yep.
No, I mean, and like with everybody else they have, like Steve Wilkes, and you have the like whole Aaron Glenn thing. Like, if you keep him, it's gonna be well, because the way he's coaching is good. But yeah, I was watching a game last Thursday night, and they lost.
Lane, all the love to you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Anytime, Lane.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Do the Jets need Trent Grisham after the Yankees paid him $22 million?
I don't know who that is. I heard they paid him a little bit extra. A little bit too much, though, right? It was a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll handle the baseball talk. Don't you worry, Dylan. I forget you're not a baseball fan. Big Fella says, all that's missing from this cooking segment is Beast English accent. Well played, Big Fella. Also, shout out to our guy Dominic in the house. Says, I almost feel the Goff pocket-focused QB will make a comeback. Mobility's key, but whenever everybody zigs, you zag. That's why I like Mendoza. I also think people talk about Mendoza like he's like a statue. I've watched him live a couple times. He's a better athlete than the way like they discuss him. I don't know how you feel about him.
Yeah. I don't like doing the comps, but like Kirk Cousins with more athleticism, I feel like is like a decent one because he stands tough in the pocket. He's accurate like Kirk Cousins was early on in his career. Like that's the reason Kirk was, so dominant early on in his career with Washington was his accuracy. It was never his arm strength or anything like that. And he was a pretty smart quarterback. Obviously things kind of derailed with injuries, but I don't know, the Mendoza stuff to me, it's more about his brain and his processing than anything else that makes him special. So I like Mendoza, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
Alert, Allen alert. Can't Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, Allen alert. Delusional dreams from pathetic fans. My Big Joe is a dog. Beast Breaker is fat and dumb as a rock. And Gator's a dick who blocked all my chats. We should have got all Josh Allen to start. This show needs me. Jake knows I'm right, and he's always wrong. Alert, Allen alert. Can't see Jet fans are dumbass jerks. Alert, Allen alert. You hate because I'm always right.
Good morning, gentlemen. First of all, a quick shout out to
morning.
Kevin.
It's 5 p.m.
What are you doing with the hat there?
Why? I'm wearing my hat like this. Whatever.
You look like that meme. How do you do, fellow kids?
Okay. Thank you.
I'm more concerned with good morning. Where are you located that it's still morning?
I don't know. It's 4 o'clock when I'm half asleep.
You look like Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock.
Okay, great.
Oh,
first of all, a quick shout out to Kevin. Me and my beautiful wife are going to visit his establishment next week, so I'm looking forward to that.
They should ban you.
They should ban me. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to address Adam's.
This is you, by the way.
Steve Buscemi is only about Fargo, nothing else. Thank you. I want to address Adam's call earlier today. He was absolutely right to say that Indiana's offense is predicated on their 2 running backs. And to me, when I look at Mendoza, I think he's the perfect fit in Cignetti's offense. I think you could put a lot of quarterbacks in that offense and to be successful. So I worry that he is a product of the quarterback, of the coach, more so the coach being more so the quarterback being a product of the coach. So I think he's a product of the coach, more so the other way around. So I think Cignetti makes him a better player. And I worry if he's out of that system, I don't think that Mendoza is going to be that successful. I just don't think he's a game changer. And the idea of trading a first and a second to move up for a guy who's pretty much a game manager worries me. That's the biggest problem I have.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. You can look back at Mendoza's Cal tape and see that it wasn't the best. And you
No, it
can
was
point
average.
Yeah, and you can point to Cignetti, coaching him through a lot of his, deficiencies and him also progressing and developing. So, like, yes, there's some credit due on both sides. Obviously, you have to see what he looks like without Cignetti to realize like what he is or isn't. But the accuracy, like Cignetti's not, he doesn't throw the ball, and I don't know, Mendoza just puts it in such a spot where it's so easy. I mean, obviously Dante Moore is my favorite thrower of the football in this class because I just think he makes it look so easy. But if I had to go out there and catch a pass, like say I'm a wide receiver at the combine and I'm trying to make myself look good, I want Mendoza throwing me the ball every time because he just puts it in a spot where I just go boop and it's easy and I look better because of it. So I think that's part of it with Mendoza for me, but you're 100% correct that we don't know what that player looks like outside of that environment where he was so successful, right?
Out of Mendoza and Simpson, I take Mendoza because, as you said, I don't think Simpson's a guy who throws the ball well deep at all. I think he's a guy who throws between 15 and 30 yards. He was exposed in the Oklahoma game, and I just don't think he's that great. He's also only played great. He's only played 10 games as a starter. I know he's the son of a coach, but I don't think he's a guy I would be willing to take. If I was him, I'd go back to school. I really would. I don't think he's ready to come out.
Yeah, I think that the eval on Simpson is probably going to be the biggest decision-making process for him. Like, is he going to Aller himself and go back to school when he got a pretty high eval in this class and risk injury or being in a more loaded class with Manning and Sayan and everybody else coming out next year? Or does he get that top 15 grade, which in today's world is probably a top 8 grade based on desperation. And he comes out this year where he's only facing Mendoza 1v1 for that QB1 spot. So that's going to be the decision for Simpson and his camp to make. But I agree. I think if any of these quarterbacks should go back, they probably should. Like all those guys that have the eligibility should probably go back, whether it's, development reasons, money reasons, trying to put better things on tape reasons. Like, maybe this isn't the best year to just come out and be the unfinished product that you are.
Hey, Alan, question for you. And for those with kids around, this is not safe for work. You've been warned. We have to address the elephant in the room. Who was this person you're referring to?
That guy fucked me twice.
Who did that to you twice?
I was talking about Caden Proctor when he was on Iowa twice. That guy fucked me twice.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very convincing.
No, that's how it was.
What show is this on, man? What do you do when you're not calling into the show?
That was on the Nick Shine show.
Interesting. So Nick Shine
sounded like he left an impression on you, that Proctor guy.
Every comment I make, I mean, I see the chat and I have AIDS. I finger myself. I mean, it's just like running jokes on me. But you know what?
Well, I mean, you also said that on the record, though.
Yeah, I did. That context is basically.
What's the context of this?
Great. You didn't see what happened before that. The infamous Black Gypsy is the one who started the whole thing. That guy fucked me twice.
It just is a family show, Alan. I mean, we got kids to watch
all
this.
the jokes all you want. Okay. All I know is if you trade a 1 and a 2 for Mendoza, it's a big mistake. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and Dante Moore at $8 million is going to go back to Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's going to stay in school.
I think him.
Hey, what's up?
Not you, Alan.
No, Alan's going to go back to school wearing that hat like that.
He literally looks like the meme you see on Twitter.
It was a very you pulled that picture up expeditiously. So
I will say, even though I almost always disagree with everything Alan says, I do stand by the fact that he is very good for the show overall. So I enjoy the battles. But I argued with him this morning, so I let you handle that one, Dylan. You were way more calm than I was.
Oh yeah, well, I feel like when Alan talks about the Jets, I push back a lot more. When Alan talks about the college or the draft, there's just so much unknown. So it's like, yeah, that could be true, but also what I'm saying could be true too. Like, there's no really, talking Alan into the Jets could be good at 2-8, right?
Here's why I like Mendoza. I played this clip earlier. This was making the rounds on Twitter last night. So Fernando Mendoza, his superpower beyond, like, yes, the accuracy is going to be highlighted. I think he's just really, really, really smart, and he's played a lot. So I think his floor is higher than maybe some other top picks. This was Mendoza on Urban Meyer's podcast breaking down the game-winning drive that he led against Penn State.
Yeah, they play kind of like their two joker structure where it's a little similar, and they have this middle safety who is really reading off the quarterback's eyes and really playing off that speed. And so we had speed of the field there. We had number 3, Omar Cooper Jr., who made the fantastic catch.
Yeah.
And so when I caught the ball, I looked over there and I saw his hips and eyes turn. So at that point, all I knew, I needed to just beat that boundary curl defender and beat that boundary safety. And once I saw that safety go over the top to the outside receiver defending the whole shot, I just knew that I needed to put some arc and layer on it over that hook defender after that kind of like the hook curl defender in order to make that completion, because I knew the other guy, the Joker, had his hips to the speed.
I got
Fernando, do you see Coach's face right now? Hold on, look at your face,
This is like the
Coach
best
Meyer.
shit I've ever heard.
This is what I'm saying.
This is
Fernando, look at
All
his
right, now.
smile. This is as intense and happy as he's been in years.
Like, that's a college quarterback who has that much depth of knowledge, right? So, like, that to me is important because the Jets have had quarterbacks like Zach Wilson and Justin Fields that can't process. Mendoza could process really quick.
Urban Meyer is poking the underside of his desk, listening to Fernando Mendoza talk about football.
That guy fucked me twice.
That's exactly what you want out of your quarterback, to understand what the defense is trying to do against you, how to leverage against what the defense is trying to do against you. And he did a really good job on that play. And, maybe when I break down Fernando Mendoza versus Penn State, I'll steal those exact lines from him and make myself look smarter in the process.
Fernando Mendoza. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now live from the great outdoors is Beast. How we doing?
I just went and did some final pickup, a few things. I had to pick up some brown sugar, ran out of milk. I got picked up a few, and even some good old fashioned wheat bread. Man, it's kind of bread. And I had to pick up some lettuce and cucumber for my little boy. Yeah, Thanksgiving's around the corner, folks. Get your turkeys while they're still at it. And remember, we're 1 week away from Gobble Gobble. So if you're all ready in the Thanksgiving spirit, either get a turkey or get yourself one of them turduckets like the old John Man once said. Nothing says good loving from the oven, but a good old turducken. And remember, may God keep us going, keep us in spirit, and remember, it's the holiday season.
Thank you, Beast.
Remember, it's the holiday season, folks.
Big fella, super chat, cuts the line. Last time we moved up for a game manager quarterback, we went to 2 championship games. Mendoza is the guy for us. Yes. If you want to say that. I don't know if he's a game manager though. How do we know he's I'm not going to put him. What if he's the ultimate processor from the pocket? He can be really good at the next level. If he's a fast processor and is accurate, like I want to put a ceiling on him. And by the way, if he ends up just being a very good game manager, if he's Chad Pennington, I'd sign for that too right now. This team needs to get out of hell. If they can get some stability at quarterback, you can get out of hell and figure out the rest from there. Like the Chiefs with Alex Smith, he took them as far as they could go. Eventually, they made their move for Mahomes. Let's get out of hell and worry about how we could eventually get to the top of the mountain down the line when we're out from underneath the Earth's core.
Yeah. I don't think game managers throw 22 for 24, 4 touchdowns, 250 plus yards. And he's consistently throwing for a lot of yards. Now, if he was throwing for like 160 every game, then
he would be talking about going first. Yeah.
And he only had like a touchdown every game and he's averaging like 1.4 touchdowns a game. Yeah, then that's a different conversation. But he's got a really good touchdown to interception ratio. He's completing a high percentage, like a very high percent of his passes. And yeah, I don't know. I'm impressed with him as a thrower. I wouldn't mind him, Mendoza, Simpson, or Dante Moore. Obviously, I don't think Dante Moore comes out, but that's just where I'm at so far in the process. And I have not. This isn't the 2021 class for me where it's like, oh my God, I absolutely love Trevor Lawrence. And then after that, I'm going to fight tooth and nail to be right about that quarterback too, because let's be honest, 4.5 of the 5 quarterbacks sucked in that class.
Bino says 68%, 16 touchdowns, 6 picks with a turnstile O-line, multiple Uzis at Cal, isn't a trash QB. Yeah, I think he's very good. I like Fernando Mendoza. I'm with you. Yep. Dylan, there's a guy on the line that wants to rumble you.
Sure.
Can you handle it?
I got my gloves on somewhere.
Who do you think it is?
It could be literally anybody who wants to rumble me.
Doesn't like your takes.
Doesn't like my takes. Well, I know it's not Georgie. He's too much of a chump to call in. I don't know. Play the video. Do they have an intro video?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Oh,
What's
the hell's
up?
wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
What do you mean? What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Where are you going with this?
I don't know. Every now and then I go on Twitter. I don't know why. I see you're still obsessed with Aaron Rodgers. What's your Aaron Rodgers thing? Dude.
This is where we're going today.
I mean, every time I look at your Twitter feed, you're like, you're talking about Rodgers in some sort of way. I mean,
This is unfair, Jake. Look at the Rodgers related tweet prior to this one.
That's the other one. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to show you here.
I play both sides of it.
But why do you care? Why are you wasting your time on somebody who's in our rearview window? Rearview mirror.
I think of all people, I bring up Aaron Rodgers the fewest on this show.
Well, that's not that was. I just happened to notice that when I scrolled through.
It was quite a bit today and this week. I definitely tweeted more. Honestly, I'm just tired of people saying that it would have been so perfect. Everybody on Twitter loves to tell me that it would have been so perfect. M. Villette in the chat loves to tell me it would have been so perfect. And now he's hurt for the fourth time in 4 years, and he's possibly going to miss a game. He might not miss a game, but I don't know. I wanted him back, but the second he went on McAfee and told his half truth about what happened in the meeting with AG, I lost it, and I didn't want him back anymore.
Why do you think that was a half truth?
Because everything that he says is pointed to a direction where he doesn't tell the full truth and leaves a lot left to be assumed.
But have you re-listened to that since Aaron Glenn has treated the media the way he has, and maybe given them the benefit of the doubt to say that maybe everything Rodgers said actually transpired? Because that's how I took it.
Sure. I don't think AG speaking to the media has anything to do with the Rodgers interaction, but I think
I do.
I don't think so. I mean, I think AG was always going to be AG, and I prefer this style. I'm not going to be the one to tell you that I give a single F about what AG says to Samini or Kaz or Hughes or Antoine or anybody in that room. I really don't care. My results on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays is where I base my judgment on AG. I don't give a shit about what he says at that podium.
No, but when Rodgers said what he said about AG at the time,
I think it's like 75% true.
We were all kind of like, AG wouldn't talk to him like that. That sounds a little fishy. But now we know that's exactly how he talked to him.
Yes, okay. and I gave AG a ton of shit in the decision-making process because I disagreed with it and I wanted Rodgers back. But I also don't think that it's 100% what happened in that meeting.
But you seem to get enjoyment out of the fact that Rodgers is struggling in the last 3 games.
No.
Am I taking that wrong?
Yeah. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not a Steelers fan.
What is score one for Muji and Glenn when the guy posted about?
Because every time he does well, all I hear is, "Oh, look at Rodgers and look at everything they're 6-4. They were 8-2 at this time last year with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson at quarterback. So what does that actually say? Nothing.
It's coaching.
It says nothing about Aaron Rodgers, the player. Exactly. And he's on pace for a worse season than he had last year. I did so much defending of Rodgers last year that I'm actually going the other way now. I don't have derangement syndrome. I know what he did for this franchise, but I also know that bringing him back and re-upping this year was not the right move. Going to Fields, clearly that's not the right move either, but Muji and Glenn were right to move on from Rodgers, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I feel that way now. But again,
right in the time I did not.
Only reason I'm giving you a hard time is I just feel like you should It's like when you break up with a girl and then you go on Facebook every
But
day
that's what
and you
he
talk
did.
shit about
That's
her.
what he did.
Calm your freaky down.
That's what he did on Pat McAfee. He ran the very first time in his 20
One
years.
time. He did
But
his
it's the
one
only
time.
in his career
Yeah.
that he's ever been cut. And the first thing he did was run to his only public media source and tell his side of the story. I love Aaron Rodgers, and there's a lot of stuff that I think he does.
Oh, you can't blame him for that. He
No, but that's why you don't get AG's rebuttal. If you got AG's side of the story, it's going to conflict Rodgers, and then Rodgers gets his rebuttal, and AG. That's the back and forth of it. That's why
Wow.
AG just took the high road and didn't say anything. In my
I hug
opinion.
him every day. I hug him every day.
Well,
you get a couple Woody hugs
I think that AG didn't say anything because AG knew that was probably word for word correct. That I don't think there was any doubt about it.
That's a fair evaluation of the conversation. But I also think, regardless of how that meeting went, their actions told us that they weren't in it with Rodgers, no matter what.
Sure.
And everything after that has kind of been opposite of what they've said publicly. And I don't agree with that message either. Like, I'd rather just be told we're going to suck and go 2-14 or 15 in 2025 rather than puff your chest out and say, we're going to coach all these guys up. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to do whatever. But I think in hindsight, all these moves are actually better for the team in the long run. We're paying Rodgers more next year. And this is a Muji decision. I get it. He split the money up. We're paying more for Rodgers next year than we would be for Fields if we cut him.
Yeah.
That's sad. And re-upping that with Rodgers, he's not taking $13 million to come play for the Jets in 2025 like he did with the Steelers at the end of the summer, right? They were both kind of desperate for a match, and they left the speed dating ring, and they didn't have a partner. So that's kind of where they got.
Look, I'm not arguing that they made the right or wrong decision.
Yeah.
I do think that it was Woody's decision. I don't think it was Glenn's decision.
Yes.
I think that Woody was not going to hire a coach that wanted to stick with Rodgers.
Yes.
When the coaches came in, he said, "What do you think about Rodgers?" And he wanted nothing to do with it.
The criteria for the 33rd team was guys that wanted Rodgers, guys that didn't want Rodgers. You only bring in guys on this column. 100%.
Yeah, so he was out. All right.
100%.
All right, well, let's put the guy in the past. Right, we're done with him.
I can't do that until he walks away from the game. I'm going to criticize or give him praise. That first tweet that Jake showed was giving him praise. It didn't sound like it, but it was giving him praise. That if the coaching staff believes in themselves, they bench Rodgers for this week and go with Mason Rudolph, and they let Rodgers get healthy, which is what the Jets did not allow him to do after the Minnesota game in London in 2024. We've seen the story.
We've seen the story, more, though. I keep scrolling down.
Oh, I tweet about Rodgers quite a bit, because he was my favorite player, and I loved him, but I hated the way it ended. So I'm going to be critical.
All right, so now you're soured on him. All right, so let's say hypothetically Pittsburgh makes it into the AFC Championship game against Buffalo.
I'm rooting for the Steelers. I'm rooting for the Steelers. Okay. I'm old enough to remember 04, but I hate Buffalo. And I would like that. Somebody proposed the question of if the Jets lost every single game, but they could beat Buffalo to keep them out of the playoffs and ruin our draft pick and go from like 2 to 6, would you take the win? Yes, I would take the win. To keep Buffalo out of the playoffs, I don't even want to give Josh Allen a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They'll probably miss it wide right, but I don't want to give them that chance. You know what I mean? So I would pick Pittsburgh, but I don't root for Pittsburgh. I remember 04. No. I remember Doug Bryan and Heinz Field missing those kicks. Like, that's my hatred of the Steelers.
In all fairness, Pittsburgh is a mess, and it's kind of funny how when Rodgers came to the Jets, he thought he was going to have a defense. He thought he was going to have an offensive line. He didn't have either. And now he went to Pittsburgh. He thought he was going to have a defense. He thought he was going to have protection, and he doesn't have either. So it's ironic that, and I'm not trying to defend Rodgers, but it is kind of like a shit break for him that's how it worked
in a
out,
way. Yeah. I wish we lived in a timeline where Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams finished their career as Packers. I enjoyed watching them on the Packers. I thought ruining that was, to go with Jordan Love. Sure, it may have worked out in hindsight for the Packers because Rodgers can't stay healthy, but that was the timeline I always wanted. But I wanted to live in that first season when he blew out his Achilles, because I think that season could have been special, and we just
it was stripped from us. And in the second year, he just was not the same player coming off the Achilles. So
yeah, Jake.
Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets!
Hey, Gator, while you're here, there's a guy on the line that is desperate, and I mean absolutely desperate to get an intro. So hold on. Let me rearrange some things. I don't have an intro for this guy, but I do have some clips. I'm going to bring him on, and maybe you two could clear the air here, and maybe he can make a pitch to you on why he deserves a call or intro.
Women.
All right, Rob, you've reached out. You want an intro. We got Gator on the line. He doesn't often call in. Make your pitch.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. I do think that I'm worthy of an intro. I mean, you got Adam is too cool. You got Papa 73. These guys are good callers, but they just started calling in like months ago.
Butt plugs.
And I don't understand why you won't give me an intro, a good, respectful intro like you do for like, who can I use for an example? Briga's a good one. I like also the one that you also gave for Bonesy is kind of cool. And Lowski's a good intro. I think I deserve a good, respectful intro since I've been calling in for 4 years, and I don't understand why you won't create one for me. Is that fair to say?
It's just not how my mind works. You know, it's like I get inspired. Like the reason Adam is too cool got an intro is I was watching him and noticing how sort of basic he was, and he calls himself cool, you know, and like I sat there and I'm like, I don't know how cool he is. He's more like kind of like just basic. And it sort of inspired me to, you know, to create an intro. And when I saw Chuck Wagon, the last thing in the world I thought was doing an intro for him, but then at some point it clicked to me that that he had a few quirks about him that would be funny to do an intro. The other thing too, Rob, is you don't call in that often. So, you know, you call in maybe twice a week, maybe I think on average, you know, that's not a lot, you know, like if you look at the guys I do intros for, Adam is too cool was calling in like almost twice a day, every day. Chuck Wagon as well. I mean, usually like when somebody's on constantly, because the intro is not easy to do. I put a lot of work into them. You know, I got to write the lyrics. I actually sing them myself, and I got to generate the music and all. And that's the one that does take some time. But you know, I like them to be played. You know, and if you were to call in more often.
I'll call in more. I will
might,
call
you know,
in.
it might, but why would you do that just for an intro?
No.
You should call in.
No, it's got nothing to do with that, Gator. I support Jake in every way. I go to the watch parties and everything. I was just at the last 2 watch parties. So sometimes I don't call in all the time because I do take care of my grandson. So I'm a little bit busy. But
it's all good. No, listen, it's not. It has a lot more to do with the fact that A, you don't call in as often, and B, there isn't something like if I were to make one of you, you say I'm respectful to this one and that one, but like I don't have like an angle for you. I honestly don't. If I did, I would have done something. And I don't want to make fun of you because I like you, Rob. You know what I mean? You're a good guy. I don't want to make fun of you. And I do make fun of a lot of people. Okay. I mean, most of my intros I try to make them entertaining. And in order to make them entertaining, they kind of got to be funny. And part of being funny is being, you know, not mean necessarily, but, you know, they do take shots at each and every person in some way, shape, or form. And not everybody has the, you know, the spine for that. And I feel like if I were to make fun of you, you know, you might be offended, you know, and I don't want to go there with you.
Women.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So it's just not, I'm just not inspired right now. It doesn't mean that I won't be someday, But I get ideas in my head, and it's like I said, it's a lot of work to do one. I hate doing them because somebody tells me to do one. I like doing
No,
them
no.
because
I mean, if it was
I'm
something
inspired.
small, it would be nice. Even if it was something just small and it was 10 seconds long or something small, just to clue me in or something, it would be nice. I'd appreciate.
If you called in, 10 times a week, better chance of you getting an intro than twice a week. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
That's
it has
fair.
nothing to do with the longevity. There's people that that JJ doesn't have one. He's been calling in since before I even knew the show existed. So, and he doesn't have an intro. So it has, like I said, has a lot to do with how often you call and the inspiration.
How quirky the person is, and they get laughs out of it. I get that part.
Yeah.
I just like things like Brig. I thought was really good. What you did for Lowski was really cool. I mean, those I like.
Well, Brigga. Now, Brigga. A lot of people don't know this, but Brigga got an intro because I felt guilty because I took Beast's side over his in the Asmaniac tournament. And he thought because I did like all this stuff for Beast that I was cheating, being part of the Jake Asman show, that I was helping the cause to get him to lose. And when he called me out on that, I said, you know what, now I got to give you something so that I'm putting effort toward you. And that's kind of how that came. That was more like a me.
Look how he skyrocketed. Look how he
Yeah.
skyrocketed since you've done that. He skyrocketed in popularity since you've done that. Right? That was a good song that you came up with for him.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my intent. My intent was, to make up for the fact that I felt like I did him wrong.
But you're talented.
So,
you're very You're very talented. So yeah, I like it. I'm a little envious, about it, to be honest with you. I see it, and you do good work.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Why I'm mentioning it,
Yeah.
Alan's wife.
Gator, well done. I think you sold Rob on your vision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be honest. I'm not gonna fight anybody on it. You know what I mean? But
I ran a poll. Should Rob from Glenhead get an intro from Gator? No is at 64% right now.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was at 100%, that doesn't mean that I could do one, because it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like, I literally only do these things when I see something just jumps out at me. Like,
what if his intro is just a replay of that call, edited down for him begging for an intro with some music underneath it?
Well, I think it was I was talking to somebody about it. I think Rat Diddy, and I was saying, the only intro I could think to do for him would be him asking for an intro. That would be really like that is the only angle, right? Which is, it's still not inspired to do it.
Maybe it's some sort of song about him just like screaming and yelling for an intro.
Exactly. I mean, that would be it. That would be it. It might happen. That might happen, and then he's going to be angry. He's going to be cursing at me and whatever. It's like, I don't know. Once the Brigga one, maybe I'll do One Punch Rob from Glenhead. How's that?
I mean,
it rolls off the tongue.
Does it?
Look who's called in. Alan wants to weigh in. I'm assuming it has something to do with Rob's last call.
Hold on. He has got to be kidding. Hold on. Yeah, I'm addressing this shit. Okay?
Alan changed his hat.
I did. I had to. Okay.
Too much heat.
If you ever say one bad thing to that guy, he would fucking say he would beat the shit out of you. He has no sense of humor. Zero. You know what you need to do, Gator? Just repeat everything Jake says and just have Rob's face on it. That's
Whoa. I know what we need.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
Okay, that's the problem. When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro. Okay. I get abused on here. I get abused on the chat all day. Okay?
I don't deny that.
I'm glad. So when you have a sense of humor, then they will write an intro. Okay. You have to learn how to laugh at yourself.
Yes, that's fine. But you know what? I do have a little bit of sense of humor. I'm speaking to you right now, so
I'm glad. Thank you. That was great. It was good. That's a good start. You have to learn how to have a sense of
gave
humor.
you some time off to call back in now, right?
Okay. You need to have a sense of humor. The problem is you do not. Unfortunately, you don't.
I agree. Okay, I'm not going to fight you on
So
that.
when you start having a sense of humor and have people make fun of people need to make fun of you for about 2 months, okay? And you just have to take it.
Easy.
You have to take it.
Easy.
There are a bunch of people in here who want to make fun of you, and they're going to say something, and then you just rip them a new asshole. Just take it. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Alan, Mendoza.
Okay, I'm glad, Rob. You don't straight up to go get
the rest of the year.
Okay. Rob, just learn to have a sense of humor. That's it. That's it.
I'll try.
Okay. That's all I have to say.
But I want
guys.
Mendoza, and I want to tank the rest of the year.
Okay,
I don't
thank you very much. You follow my lead. I appreciate it.
No, I agree with that.
Okay. Have a
believe
good
it or
one.
not. Jake, honestly, I think it's to the point that we got to lose the rest of our games and just go for Mendoza. Alan's wife.
How about that for a Rumble, huh? Man, a lot of fireworks on the show today. Unbelievable. Let's bring Dylan back on. Dylan, what did you make of the events there? Went from a Rumble with you and Gator to Gator and Rob to Alan from the Cloud. It's been a busy show.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I thought the one rule was you're not supposed to ask for an intro, and exactly. I have to agree with Alan as much as I hate to say those words out loud, but it's like you got to have thick skin on this show, right? Like even to a degree, Charles Gorman has thick skin, and he takes the chat banter. It's hard if you have really thin skin to get an intro that you're gonna like, because they're not based on you liking them. They're based on what you bring to the show and like your personality. And Alan was onto something, and I hate to say it.
What do you make of things, Beast?
So far, we're sticking to the $3 billion plan. We're gonna get the new ice baths put in. We need to start looking at things, and let's not tank. Let's just.
Thank you, Beast. All right, some super chats here. Back to your call. So those two to get late. Joe Namath signed football is up for grabs at the end of the show. Enter, because even if you don't win, Tuesday you can win a Wayne Corbett autograph ball, an Armand Membu signed jersey, and a Nick Mango, the late great, signed football as our top prizes in the weekly raffle. Hennessy wants to know, does Alan even own a Jets hat? Probably not. Dixon says, I thought Rob was a tough guy. Alan crushed him. Wow. People siding with Allen is not good. J-Lag says, our O-line / re-signing Brees, Braylon, G5, Taylor, improved defense via the draft / free agency would complement Mendoza, get our guy, get to work, win games. I agree with all this. Like, people act like if you make the trade up that we talked about, you can't then surround the roster with talent. Yeah. They ignore the $100 million in cap space and the other picks the Jets still have even after making this deal. They still would have 2 second-round picks. Even after making this trade, they have plenty of ammunition, and they'd have 3 in 2027 in the first round.
Yeah, you could literally do whatever you want with those 2027 firsts. If you wanted to use it to get back up into this class, that's fine. There's enough resources out there, whether it's cap space and free agency dollars or draft capital, where this quarterback, whoever it is, Jake, like they're going to have enough around them, right, where the environment isn't going to be completely putrid like it has been for rookies in the past. Obviously, Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson, like they came into environments that were not conducive for success. I always go back to the Draft Dudes, if you're familiar with their podcast, Kyle Krabs and Joe Marino. Every year they do a rookie exercise where they grade the environments of the rookies. And when the Jets take a quarterback, I always tune into that segment, and I want to see how they grade the team around him. And it goes on like pass catchers, O-line, coaching, defense, obviously to a degree. And the Jets have always graded out so poorly. And this year, I feel like if you get the rookie quarterback, Mendoza, Simpson, whoever you want to say, I feel like the environment around him is, while it looks bad right now, there is a path very clearly, in my opinion, where you can add, resources to the offensive line, whether it's retaining your own or adding another piece here or there, getting 1 or 2 pass catchers, probably a wide receiver and a tight end. If Brees stays, then you have, nobody in the running back room that you really need to add to. So there is definitely a path for this quarterback to have a good environment.
Ladies and gentlemen, FPP says Allen rules.
All right, let's not go that far.
Let's not go crazy now. I mean, geez. Andrew C says, put me in the raffle. You're in for 2. Welcome to something. Became a member. In the raffle for 1. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Home stretch of calls here. Let's say hello to Michael Levinson. Hello, Michael.
Hey, guys. What's up?
What's up, Michael?
Michael.
All right. I need that ball because this is my throwback 1968 Namath jersey.
Nice.
1968. Let me see if I get this in here. Well,
oh, yeah.
I can't get authentic. I've had it for 22 years. Okay. So, and I've been hoping one day I can run into this guy and get it signed. And listen, you have to have a sense of humor in this show because Jake will tell you last Friday I wore a shirt and I got killed. Okay. It was a striped shirt that looked like I was in prison.
Oh,
okay?
You're the jail shirt guy? I heard about you.
Yes.
See, that's how much of an impression you made. I didn't even watch the show, but I heard about the jail shirt guy.
Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
Prison Mike. And so, like you said, you have to have a sense of humor. Couple of points. Everyone talks about maybe we should wait till 2027. And I was listening to Connor Hughes, and he made a great point. He said in 2024, the Giants were picking 4th.
Right.
All right.
No, they were picking
you
6.
had the Bears,
same point.
Washington, and New England. They would trade anything. Problem is, no one wanted to trade out. So that doesn't work all the time.
Right.
And I think this is as far as a rookie, okay, we're in a pretty good shape. We have the offensive line that a rookie would need. We have a running game. Okay. We just need another receiver. We have a couple of tight ends. This wouldn't be that bad of a situation. Now, here's the thing about these guys coming out or staying in. I think the NIL money makes some quarterbacks want to stay in school. Like you said, $8 million for more. Why wouldn't you stay in school for $8 million?
Because he gets hurt and then all of a sudden he's screwed.
I understand that, but young people are looking at that dollar sign.
I think some learned from Drew Allard though, who was a projected late 1st round guy, maybe could be higher throughout the pre-draft process. He stays in school, gets hurt. He's maybe a day 3 pick now. So
yeah, but you know what? And you made a point a couple of weeks ago, Jake. We looked at all these guys coming out top 5. Okay, and look how many quarterbacks like Allen, like Lamar, like who knows what Jackson Dart's going to be. All these guys that seem to succeed more that are out of the top 5. It's such a risk. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's a risk no matter where you pick a quarterback in the 1st round. It's about a 50% hit rate, if that. Depends how lenient you want to be. It really is. We'll go. I'm sure I'll do it. Since I've been doing the show, this will now be the 2nd time the Jets are clearly going to be taking a quarterback in the 1st round. And I'll pull up my research from 21 when we did the math then on the last 15 years of like how successful is a top 10 pick when you draft them. The reality is it's a crapshoot no matter where you're picking. But the Jets have conviction in one of these guys. They're going to take them, and you hope that you did find your Drake May or Jaden Daniels, or you did find your Joe Burrow if it's trading up to 1 or whatever it is. Like that's how it goes. Most of the quarterbacks in the NFL, while there are outliers, I think it's 24 of like 32 right now are 1st round picks that are starting for teams. You usually get your quarterback in the 1st round, and that's why I expect the Jets to do it this offseason.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts might be like the only real exception to the rule as far as a 2nd round starting quarterback. So I think like 25 but still 25 of the 32 are in the first 2 rounds. So we know how we need to get the quarterback. It's just a matter of getting that process and figuring out how they're going to get to that quarterback.
By the way, I just got a text from my producer for my Sunday show with Mike Tannenbaum. Matt Miller, whose mock draft we've been discussing on the show, he's coming on with us at 11:30, Jet fans, Sunday morning. So I will definitely get more in depth with him on the quarterbacks, the prospects, his thoughts on the cost of moving up. We covered his mock draft on the show this morning and got Dylan's thoughts earlier. Well, so Matt Miller will be among our guests on my weekly Sunday show with Mike T. So we'll get into that coming up. But more of your calls right now. Can we get an update from the wagon on dinner? Chuck, where do things stand?
It was really good.
Okay.
But I did have a football question for Dylan.
Hey, what's up?
When I was looking at Matt Miller's trade scenario, do you when you're doing the point scales system, because the second rounder is a 2027 pick, does that lose value if it was the same year?
I think future picks are looked at one round better, I believe.
Wouldn't they be lower?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is lower. Like, I guess that second
not
round
valued as much as current picks.
It's not valued as much. So like that second rounder, I guess, would be this year's third.
Okay, because I did.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
The reason why I was doing it is because I assumed it would be the same value. So 3,000 for the number one overall pick, and I did about 2,860. So it seemed that's before you just said that the value would be less, but it did seem like equal of a trade as you can get. So I figured that would be worth it. Again, I think it's still a little too early. Excuse me. I think it's a little too early to try to project, these mock drafts and everything, because if you wanted to do this week 17, week 18, I can understand that. You kind of know where everybody falls. But man, this is going to change like 5 more times before the end of the season. So I'm just curious why.
Right. Because NFL coaches start evaluating them. That's what happens. They go to the combine. They get to know think about it. Like, you got to know the person too. It's one thing to watch the film on these guys. You got to get to know and I think it's different for the market you're in, right? I don't think everyone can play quarterback for the New York Jets. You got to have a certain type of mentality to be able to deal with all the shit that comes with being the Jet quarterback. I don't think Zach Wilson could do it. Like, I think there's some guys that have the mental fortitude to play in this market, and that has to be taken into account when you're evaluating.
And I've heard rumblings, and I'm not going to speculate one way or the other, but I've heard rumblings about the top guys in this class and how they will acclimate, let's just say, to New York. There's a stark difference on how people feel that they will react to the New York market.
Do you think
you think
it's kind of? Yeah, I am. It's a comfortable chair. But Dylan, do you feel that
looks really comfortable?
Thank you. Yeah, it is really comfortable. Do you feel that college players do sometimes, if they feel like they're a top pick and they're not going to want to be drafted by a certain team, do you?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Big Fella thinks you should be number 1 for the month of November.
That's cool. Is Dylan even there?
No, he's got.
I'm
here. Okay. Do you think they will decide to stay in school to avoid the team?
I don't think that would be the issue. I think the issue would more so be what is the grade that they get coming out of their college, season versus like, okay, if Dante Moore, right, he's the quarterback 3, we'll just hypothetically say, would he rather be in the mix for quarterback 1, 2, or 3 this year if he's given a top 15 or like back end of first round grade, or would he rather go back to school? I don't think it's necessarily about the team picking at the top of the draft like it was. I think that was the Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers draft, right, where that was the big thing. But that's more of a Manning issue than I think it is anything else. Because have we ever seen that other than that, Jake? I don't think we have. So yeah, I don't think it has to do with the team at the top. I just think it has to do with the grade they get coming out of their final season versus the class that they're going up against. Because if I'm Dante Moore and I'm like at worst quarterback 3, you're probably going to be a top 10 pick in all likelihood based on desperation and how the way teams look at the quarterback position. Versus do you put your name in the 2027 ring with the guys that we've already talked about, saying Manning, Carr, everybody else that goes back from this year, Sellers if he goes back, Mateer if he goes back. Like, I don't know. I'd rather be Dante Moore at quarterback 3 in the top 10 than risk being quarterback 7 in next year's class. So that's more of it than who the team is at the top.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to your home stretch of calls and do the raffle, let's talk about today's sponsor. That is Ridge Wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. As Maniacs, look at your screen. You'll see the Ridge Wallet. They were nice enough to send me a Ridge Wallet. It's become quite the essential for me. The Ridge 2.0 completely replaced the giant leather brick I used to carry, the Costanza wallet, if you will, for my fellow Seinfeld fans out there. Ridge, they spent 12 years perfecting this design, and the 2.0 is their best version yet. It's lighter, sleeker, it feels good, and you can carry a lot, and it does not overtake your pants. Again, Ridge is awesome. Highly recommend it. They got custom wallets for all 4 major pro leagues in the U.S., including the NFL, including the New York Jets. So take a look. Got a promo code for you. It's my last name, Asman. Go to ridge.com, promo code Asman. And because of their holiday sale, you can potentially get up to 47% off. That's right. Code Asman to get yourself a Ridge wallet. Again, they have Jet ones on the website. So check it out. Code Asman. And you could potentially save up to 47% on all these products that you're seeing here on the screen. Highly recommend it. Ridge has been with us for a while now, and it's really cool. So check it out. Again, ridge.com/Asman, or just use the promo code Asman at checkout. All right, more calls. Ladies, gentlemen, Peg, Artie, next. Hello, Peg and Artie.
Hey, Jake, Dylan, as Maniacs, what's happening?
Hello,
How are
Artie.
you?
Yeah, here's
Party
my
in there? What's up with the disco ball going off?
No, it ain't no disco ball, brother. I put my Christmas lights up.
Oh,
yeah.
First one on the block.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Class.
That's right.
Class. Let's take
That's
a look.
right.
Go down the line. Go down the line. Let's see
That's
how it looks.
class.
Go down the line. Let's take a look.
It's just a start. I still got some inflatables to put up.
Very, very nice.
You got
Gobble,
a
gobble, gobble, gobble.
The lights are up before even Thanksgiving. Unbelievable.
Dude, I was dead set on being the first one on my block this year. I was so close last year. We were going to do it on the weekend, and the Friday before, this asshole down the block put his lights up, ruined it for me. I wasn't going to let that happen again.
I love it.
I'm happy for you, Artie. I'm glad you guys were number one in the neighborhood.
Hey, me and Peg got 3 takes. The first take is the rumble between Dylan and Gator was awful. Two of the nicest guys in the world.
I agree.
It was horrible rumble. Number 2 is, listen, Rob. I liked Angry Rob. Angry Rob was awesome. Calling people CSers and stuff like that in the middle of the call to get. I mean, like, that's the guy we like, not this sniveling, begging Gator for an intro guy. What happened? Come on, man. Just be yourself. And number 3, turkey is the worst animal in the world to cook. I don't even understand why people celebrate Thanksgiving. First of all, you shouldn't be thankful one day a year. You should be thankful every day a year. And the other thing is, it's just a nasty-ass animal to cook.
I agree. I like steak. My family, we do steak on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. Got anything to add?
We always have to do a ham also.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do
good.
ham in my family as well. Yeah.
We do turkey and ham.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ham,
it's-
turkey.
And I got to cook the turkey that I'm not going to eat because I'm the only one that can deep fry the thing, like Southern style in peanut oil.
Would you deep fry this?
Well, I wouldn't. Beast wouldn't fit into fryer, first of all. But that I'm pretty sure we all know. But anyway, so I wanted to show off my Christmas lights.
I love it.
I love it. This is what you do when the Jets are 2-8. I love it.
What I mean, we're talking about freaking drafts and everything else with 8 games left in the season. I mean, like, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. We do it every year.
Your
Hopefully next year will be
neighborhood
different.
wars about your Christmas lights is about as cordial as me and Gator's rumble.
Dude, I have jet flags I hang because sometimes, like, in the beginning of the year, we'll watch the games from the garage. So I'll hang my jet flags up and stuff. And usually by the halftime of the first and second game, they're already put away. Like, you know.
Yeah, don't stick out too much. Don't tell on yourself.
Yeah, no, it's just the truth. Listen, I'm not a liar. You know, it's just like I'm so aggravated.
We used to have a jet inflatable. Whatever happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. We got to dig around. It's probably in this garage. We're gonna have a yard sale in a few weeks, and hopefully it'll show up in a plastic tote or something. I won't sell that, but
right.
That's it.
I love it. Peg and Artie, you guys are the best. Well done.
Hey, have a good one, guys.
Happy.
Incredible.
That's
All right. What do we do for an encore call? I mean, we got so many people that have called in today that have made a lasting impact. And this next guy is ready to do the same.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the jet. He's one handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hey guys,
Papa.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
First off, why did Rob call me out?
I was just gonna ask, how did you end up on Rob's list of like?
I don't
people
know.
to
I've been
call
here
out
almost.
for-
I've been here almost 2 years. Mad Max and Chuck Wagon's only been here 3 weeks, and they got one. Maybe a little longer, but you know what? And this is for Rob. If you listen to Gator, he said you got to call in because he gets inspired. Now I can guarantee you, I kept on calling in, and Gator was looking, just always looking, saying, "That is one handsome son of a bitch." And if you listen to my intro, that's what's in there. So that speaks for itself. But anyways,
I love it.
As far as some of these guys in the chat, like just wanting to tank and lose, I get picking 1 or 2 is better than picking 4 or 5, but we all know the draft's a big crapshoot. So I don't, and I tanked once, like wished for a tank, and I'll just bring it up real quick. It was the Sabres, and it was the year that McDavid and Eichel was coming out.
Yep.
And before they changed all their draft, like whoever finished last was guaranteed no worse than second. So I figured I'm wishing for a tank. If I don't get McDavid, I get Eichel. We got Eichel. I was so happy. We had Reinhardt the year before, and I'm like, this is the start. Yeah, it's the start of more misery because
You being a
Eichel hurt
Jet
his-
Saber fan is incredible. You root for the 2 teams with the longest playoff drought in sports.
Don't forget the Pirates too. But
Amazing.
anyways, they end up he ends up hurting his neck, and they end up getting like bickering back and forth. They trade him to Vegas. He wins the cup that year, and I think a year or 2 after, Reinhardt wins 2 Stanley Cups in a row. So it was almost like the hockey gods were saying, "Hey, you chubby bearded bastard, take the tank and stick it up your ass." That's you know what I'm saying. It didn't get me nowhere. It just brought me more pain.
Yeah, the last time I rooted for a tank, we ended up with Zach Wilson. So
Yeah.
I could care less about where the Jets finish in the draft. They accumulated these picks for a reason, and it seems like the only thing longer than your favorite team's playoff drought is your beard. So
yeah, maybe I got a shave. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've been
no,
jinxing it.
whoa, no. I don't think we got to shave.
This has been about 15 years, about the same time. But
Oh shit, yeah, it's got to go then. If it's 15, that's that magic unlucky number. Oh no.
Keep it till week 1 next year. On the eve of week 1, shave it.
maybe I might do that.
All right.
But hey, real quick, because I've been in and out. I missed last night's show. Guys were talking about pies.
Yep.
Mine's banana cream, then pumpkin, and then apple and blueberry. But let me tell you, put
Did
some
you say
apple.
cream?
Calm your freaky down.
But let me tell you, next time you have apple pie, and it's got to be homemade, don't buy the store crap. Put that apple pie in a bowl and pour milk over it and eat it like cereal. I'm telling you. You'll come back and thank me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I normally have it with vanilla ice cream, so that's
Blueberry
kind of
pie, good way to go. Apple, not my type. But has anyone ever heard of rhubarb pie?
Oh yes, good, very good.
Yeah, someone brought that up. I was like, what is it? I think it was Grumpy Old Men. Walter Matthau brought that. He was like rhubarb pie. I remember having that. That was my favorite. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Rhubarb pie?
it's
I've never
sweet
heard
and
of that.
tolerant. Hey, and then lastly, just want to wish Coach Cho more healing and to hang in there and take it one step at a time and keep fighting the good fight. And the Asmaniacs love you, Coach Cho. So Keep on plugging, buddy.
Big Joe.
Well said by Papa. Big Joe, for those who missed it, had his procedure on his back. It went well. Supposed to get out of the hospital today, but I emailed him. I haven't heard from Big Joe today, so hopefully he got out and is doing well. He did call in yesterday. He had a ton of energy, which was great. So love seeing that. Jets worldwide, wide. Mendoza looks like the clear-cut best QB. Let's not get cute and overthink it. Draft him. I don't know if it's clear-cut. Dylan, you've watched way more than I have and probably will the entire offseason. Just watch more and more and more, and I'll watch your film breakdowns. I've seen Blewett's breakdown so far. I don't know if it's clear-cut. I like Ty Simpson. What scares me is the lack of starts. I like Mendoza's my preference, but I don't know if it's clear-cut. Maybe it will be by the time we get to April, but I think it's a lot closer than the Super Chat indicates.
I don't think anything with the quarterbacks are ever clear-cut. Like ever, honestly. I even think in the 2021 class, there were some teams that didn't have Trevor Lawrence ranked as their number one, if I remember correctly. I know like 27 or so had Zach as the number 2 quarterback, but I don't think it was consensus that Trevor Lawrence was number 1. So I don't know if anything's ever clear-cut, especially with the quarterbacks. It's really about like what flavor you like and like how you think they're going to adapt to your scheme. So right now, I'd have it Mendoza 1, Simpson 2, probably Dante Moore 3. That's how I'd rank them right now. But there's still 4.5 months left. And if one of these guys goes down to Mobile and really impresses, then they could, overtake the other in the public view of this draft class. So nothing's ever clear cut, but I would lean Mendoza.
Fernando, Michael Levinson, Super Chat in the raffle for 2. Guys, curious, in today's NFL, will Goodell allow an Eli situation like in 04? Well, there's nothing he really could do to not allow it.
Right, yeah.
That was a very unique set of circumstances because of Peyton Manning already being in the league and Arch Manning being Arch Manning. And like the Chargers were in such flux then. Like there's talk about them potentially moving at that time. Like there was a lot to that kind of created that perfect scenario for Eli to basically say he's not going to the Chargers.
Yeah. And I don't think anything who was it, Tagliabue?
Yep.
Yeah. Rest in peace. I don't think there's anything he could do at the time either. Like I don't think, and Goodell probably can't do anything either. Like there's no like rule saying that he has to do something.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers had Eli's rights. They were just willing to not deal with it and make a trade with the Giants. Right.
What were the Chargers were the only ones that were, going to lose in that situation. They keep Eli and he refuses to play. And then eventually they have to get rid of him anyway, or they can move on and get the other quarterback in the class. And I think it worked out fine for both teams.
100%. PBM, Julian Sand will walk into the NFL Hall of Fame, QB 1-27. Boomtown, save this. Just like Justin Fields is in the Ring of Honor from JJ, PBM is saying that Julian Sand is a Hall of Fame QB.
His crystal ball that can see however many years in the future.
How fitting, by the way.
I wish
JJ had a Super Chat back-to-back with PBM.
I love it. I wish I had these crystal balls that these people have to be so definitive about it. And maybe, throughout the process of doing this, I've become less definitive about it. I have like my guys in the draft class, and obviously we'll get into those as we get closer, but it's so hard to just definitively say player X is going to be ass or player X is going to be great. Like, it's just so hard. Like, it automatically takes 3 years once they get into the league. Like, we still don't know if Olu Fashanu is a good player. We think, right? But like, we still don't know yet. Like, the jury is still out on that class. So that's the beauty and the beast of the draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, Super Chat from Matt. He's in the raffle. Home stretch here. Joe Namath signed football. Last chance to get in. I am in the process of counting the raffle names. But right now, folks, it is time to get to our last couple of calls, because joining us right now is none other than the my mic got muted. Hold on. I'm having major tech issues. Found it. Hit it.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen. It's fireball, whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hey, David, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we hear you.
We got you.
All right, I apologize. You know what? Dylan, the Gator, two nice guys listening out. And me, as far as an intro, I think I know how it came about, but I just, I'm honored. And, I would say to Rob, just be yourself, and maybe down the line, something will click, and, they'll do it. And then Chef Kevin.
Hey, David, is your hand over your mouth or your mic? It's hard to hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? I'll try to turn up the volume here. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. Chef Kevin, class act. I was fascinated by him talking to.
Now we can't hear you that well.
Can you hear me now?
You just kind of sound like you're underwater.
A little bit.
No, I'm sitting in my lounge chair. I'm not underwater.
Are you watching cartoons?
No, I love old cartoons, but I'm not watching cartoons. If you have to let me go, Jake, that's okay.
I'm enjoying this call. I just wish I could hear any of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the volume turned up as much as I can. I got my eye.
There we go.
I got my arm on the phone.
I feel like I'm playing Mario Kart right now with my friend.
What did you think of Rob essentially begging Gator for an intro?
Rob is a really good guy. I think he just has to loosen up and do himself. Right? Maybe Gator will pick up on it.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
That was a great call. I couldn't hear any of it, but it was great.
I may or may not have been trying to bait David T into saying some mean things about Rob, so I apologize for asking that question.
2 memberships were gifted during that performance by David T. This one is from @AnSol EILE. I wish YouTube would go back to the old way they listed most people's usernames, but you're in the raffle, whoever you are, for one. Brett, you're also in for one as well. Fantastic. We were about to get to the raffle here, and then JJ just called in. Hello, JJ.
Yo, so I'm sitting here watching Rob, and yes, I'm inside of a butthole, I think it looks like again. But I'm sitting here watching Rob beg Gator for an intro, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why doesn't he just make the guy an intro? The guy is in all of his, creativity and wants an intro, and he's just being a jerk. Oh, I don't make intros for people unless I'm inspired. Like, the guy wants an intro, just make him an intro. So I decided to take it upon myself to make Rob from Glen Head an intro, because I don't know if you guys remember back during how do you say it? Asmaniac Madness.
Yes.
I had to make my own promo videos because I knew Gator wasn't going to make me anything. And granted, I didn't want him to make me anything. So I put my creative hat back on, and I went ahead and made Rob an intro. Jake, I'll send it to you once I stop driving, and you can play it for him when he calls in tomorrow. I'm really proud of myself. I think I did a good job. So Rob, you do have an intro by yours truly, JJ. Us people, we got to look out for each other, us Jets fans. So since Gator didn't want to do it for you, I went ahead and did it for you. I'm looking out for you, brother. Everyone, don't laugh when you see the intro, because I'm not the best at, using Chat GPT to make things, because that's how I think Gator makes all his stuff. He just Chat GPTs. Jerk to me, so I'm a jerk to him. But
what?
I put something together for you, Rob.
What were you just saying?
What was the last thing you heard?
It's something I can't repeat.
I said Gator's a jerk to me, so I'm a jerk to him.
Okay.
What'd you think I said?
JJ, thanks for the time.
There's going to be a day where Jake is going to come on here talking about Robert Saleh, and he's going to say the same thing. He stinks.
Stop defending him.
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, negative caller JJ in person here on the show.
You guys think that I'm just a negative caller, but I support this team. I'm at every home game, every away game, and even at training camps. Don't believe me? Ask DJ Reed.
But right now, we out here. Hold up, you know what time it is.
Even Ryan Fitzpatrick thinks I should win. He gave me a candy cane.
No matter what our record is, no matter what the weather's like,
JJ's still at the games, rooting on his team.
He's back. Unbelievable. So that was some of JJ's own work campaigning for himself during Asmaniac Madness. I'm excited to see what he put together for Rob from Glenhead.
I don't know. Going at Gator for using AI. I mean, I don't know, man. Gator needed to come back on with the boxing gloves for JJ's call.
This is why I thought of JJ's call.
Are we ready for the fight for the main event?
Hey, not yet. Almost ready. I got to shout out Mike D's Nuts, who's in the raffle for 5. Hey, Beast, repeat after me. D's Nuts.
How about we do this? Mike D's Nuts.
These nuts.
That was excellent.
Whenever Beast goes, nah, how about this? You just never know what's happening.
He could have said anything there.
Anything.
JJ, I'm very excited for your intro, though, for Rob. Make sure you email it to me, and I'll make sure we get into the rotation.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna email it to you once I pull over. I'm super excited once again. I think it's gonna be good, you know. And if I do a good job at this, then I'll just retire at making intros. There would be no need for me to make anyone else any intros. But if I do a bad job, then I might have to double down and make someone else an intro. So we'll see tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Some might say it's Ring of Honor worthy.
Got him. Got him.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
Hell yeah. Dylan, I'm almost done counting the names. Why don't we use this opportunity, though, for you to plug your channel, and then we'll spin the wheel and give someone out there an opportunity to win a signed Joe Namath football.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just my full name, at Dylan Tereman, as you see it on the bottom of the screen here. We are on the road to 12K. Wow. We're almost at 1,200, though. I think we're less than 20 subscribers away from 1,200. So we're trying to make that push. We're also making a slight, transition to more draft talk. I have 8 quarterback film breakdowns up on the channel. That's for everybody to view. I am immediately after this going to go pull 15 to 20 Ty Simpson clips and find the best clips to make a Ty Simpson video. So that will be up on the channel by the weekend. My goal is to get to 10 quarterbacks by Thanksgiving. So I still have one more left, and Leon hit it right on the head. Jaden Mayava breakdown is the 10th quarterback coming before Thanksgiving. I wanted to get to 10 before Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to transition into wide receivers. So Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Denzel Boston from Washington. All those guys are going to be on the channel. So at Dylan Tereman, as you see on the bottom. Plus, I will also be keeping up with the daily news for the Jets as well. Game recaps and game previews. Having guests on here and there. Also, Believe in Jets podcast. If you want the audio version of my show, that is available Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcast. Believe, BLEAV, in Jets. You don't have to believe in the Jets, but you got to believe in DT. And I really appreciate everybody's support.
My dad's watching the show. He says, I don't have an intro, and I gave you life. Yeah, you don't also call in, Dad. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if my dad truly knows how to call in very often.
Yeah, he's the Gusbuster hotline link.
He's not the best with technology.
That's the only link you're supposed to click on, Steve, is the call-in link. Don't click on those phony links like Jake did earlier.
Never forget my dad's first ever tweet back on July 7th, 2009.
Look at this. Look at the format of the app.
Trying to Twitter.
I would love to go back to these Twitter days, to be completely honest with you, instead of what it is today.
Trying to Twitter. Incredible. All right. Are we ready for the raffle? I think we are.
I think we're
Let me
ready.
shout out Peg and Artie. They're the last to enter at the buzzer here. Well done to Peg and Artie, who had a great call earlier, showing off their Christmas lights. First in the neighborhood before Thanksgiving. All right. Let's give away a Namath ball. It's time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, it's epic, all right. It's the greatest jet ever. It's a signed football by Broadway Joe Namath. Let's go. Good luck to everyone. Remember, this is from both shows today, so if you entered on the first one, you're already in here, and everyone who entered on this show is in there as well. Plus, everyone who enters any daily raffle gets entered in the weekly raffle. Good luck to all. But only one listener can win. If you win, please email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, so I know where to send it to. Your winner is...
D's nuts.
Dylan's calling a shot.
I got it right last week.
He's nuts. Oh, this is so fitting. The guy who helped me when my Twitter got hacked today is the
Oh,
winner.
yeah.
Yes, there is a God out there. There is someone looking after this angel. And that angel is PBM.
About Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike. It might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Hell yeah. Now I don't have to send Mike something nice for helping me. I could just send the football instead, signed by Broadway Joe.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good for PBM. And thanks for getting our guy back on track so he can stop clicking those phony links and have stronger vectors. Stronger vectors.
Look at this guy. Broadway Joe. Yeah.
It's gonna look real good. Real good. You see that? I don't know. I'm turning the light on.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah, dog.
Hey, dude, people are saying I rigged it for you, PBM. Look at this.
You know, the day I tore my ACL, I won the Joe Namath helmet, and now the day I help you with the hack, I get a Joe Namath football. Maybe Joe Namath. Maybe it's the curse. Maybe it's the myth working in better favor. So
What's the update? Quick 15-second update on the ACL. How's it going?
It's going good. Doing agility work, jumping, running. I'm not at sprinting yet, but working towards it. So yeah, doing good.
Love it, bro.
Hell yeah.
Love
Mike,
it, dude.
I will get this ordered for you, and congrats, man. Thanks again for your help today.
Wait,
awesome.
birthday. Whose birthday? Your birthday?
This is my birthday back in October. Still.
Oh,
hanging.
okay. I was gonna say, what the hell?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Beast, wish PBM a happy belated.
Happy birthday there, big fella. Ain't those balloons kind of old back there?
I'm not big fella.
Where's your tree? Hey, where's your tree at? Did you get a tree yet?
All right.
love it.
What a way to end the show. Mike,
Love
thank you. Thanks for your help. Congratulations on winning the raffle. All right. That does it. Dylan, you're the best. Thanks for coming on. We will be back tomorrow. I got to text Fireman Ed, make sure he's good for tomorrow, but we'll have someone on a Football Friday. Again, thanks to everyone who watched both shows today. Best listeners, make sure you guys subscribe to DT's channel as well. I'll talk to you guys soon. Go Jets. Hit it, Beningo.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
Did they ever force a damn turnover? What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
Well, folks, that just wraps up our show. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hang on tight.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.